Welcome. I'm Sage,
I'm Megan.
and we're back with the Squeaky Floorboard Society.
Yay! I'm yawning. I'm so sorry,
You're
guys.
good. We're back with
I've
an average length episode today.
yeah. You don't get an episode from me because Sage literally researched so many topics in such a short span of time that she left nothing for me to cover.
I was not in school when I did majority of my research, so I had nothing but time.
Yeah.
I also
So
don't think
she
I was working yet either.
I don't know that you were either.
So I think I just had time to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, she literally she's running a monopoly on werewolf trials.
Well, this next one's going to be really interesting.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Maybe I should
Oh, good.
thumbnail. I'm gonna use this as a thumbnail. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I might.
We have one where I'm just like this. Cuz
They're gonna think we're in the Illuminati.
well, there's one where you're like this, and then I'm doing that, and like 4 episodes later, where I'm holding my hand like this. I'm like, that's gonna be the second thumbnail, which is just
Why do
us.
we have evil eunuch hands?
We do, and we keep making them, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I'll start with my small talk real fast. So me and my husband said we weren't doing Christmas presents, but guess who just got Alex Warren tickets for July from Dennis?
Is it you?
Uh-huh. He
Oh,
bought
it's not
me.
Chris. It's not Christmas.
I know, but like I bought the tickets today. Well, okay, so I told him, "Hey, I know you're not getting me a Christmas present, but I really want to go to this concert. So if
Mm-hmm.
I tell you that you can give it to me for Christmas, will you do that?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, we're not doing Christmas presents." So I was like, "I know, but like they're really cheap tickets because I think it was like $78."
You know, you can just give people gifts just because, right?
I know, but we have a habit of like trying to outdo each other. So if
Right.
I tell him that this is like him giving me a Christmas present and I'm not going to get him one, I'm going to. I have 8 days planned because of Hanukkah. He doesn't know that yet.
Thank God he doesn't watch the podcast.
I know. And by the time
Neither of
this
our.
comes, like it'll be way past that.
I don't think either of our men do, because mine just found out we have a YouTube channel.
I know you told me that. I was like, wait, what?
She's like, we have a new subscriber. I was like, it's Daryl.
Well, we got 2 new subscribers, so technically, I guess one.
One of our new subscribers is him, because he was like, you popped up on my YouTube.
Well, I hope I did.
Yeah.
But that's how we're almost at 130 views for that video.
We were last time I checked. We had
Or we?
134.
Last time I
Mm-hmm.
checked, we had 127.
Let me check. Let me do a
I need
checkaroonie
you
real
all to
quick.
know that this has been the most exciting thing.
We are pretty hyped. This is. Oh, maybe I'm dyslexic, but 126 isn't bad.
No. Which is
I'm
wild.
I'm happy with that.
Considering that our other ones got like 5 to 10 views, 100,
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Look,
amazing.
it's normal to start off slow.
Yeah. And so that's why like it's so crazy whenever like I'm caught cuz like I'm caught up on everything at this moment
Mhm.
so that like the only thing that we're waiting on really is I think we have 4 thumbnails, but even then those don't come out till like January.
Yeah.
So it's just me sitting here like I'm caught up. What do I do? Because there for a while we were like behind on everything, which is why we started so late. Like,
Yeah.
if you guys didn't know, we started recording in like August
Yeah.
and we didn't release until October.
But we also only record once a week.
Yeah.
We're not like some of these other podcasters where this is their job.
We have full time jobs in school, families that we're taking care of. So,
Yeah. I mean, even if this could be my job, I don't know that I would make it my job, because then I think it wouldn't be as fun.
yeah, I definitely like that it's like where we get to like sit and talk. Because what you guys don't
It's
see is like it's about an hour per episode. It's like 2 hours where we're actually talking about the subjects, but then there's like another hour around it where we're just talking.
And we edit that out. We edit out all the in between stuff.
We
But
do.
I mean, mostly this is just a way for us to hang out and hopefully people like what we have to say.
Yeah. Could you imagine if we ended up doing live shows?
Simply wouldn't. What if someone gets a picture of me and I look stupid as fuck?
Me
No,
watching the
listen,
podcast in times two in your class. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, I love it so much. Watch
if
that in
like,
times two.
anytime I clap, watch it in like double speed.
It's it was just like I because you could hear me say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the topic," blah blah blah, and then Megan claps, and I was like, I've never seen her clap in times two. Because when would I have?
I mean, it's not possible for me to do it.
I thought about when you make funny puns. I have a video of you playing your siblings' drum set where you do the but and I was like, what if
They would
I?
they would not recognize that as me.
I was like, what if I take that and just like cut the audio, like the video out of it, and just have the
It's just
audio
the
clip?
audio. Um, no, yeah. I mean, I guess you could do that. Was that your small talk?
Yeah, the Alex Warren tickets.
I have a thing that I was thinking about the other day, and then you reminded me of during the last episode. Um, so I've been getting into another band, and when you said Powerwolf, I thought of them because I think it would be phenomenal if they toured together. Because this band is not as popular as Powerwolf, I don't think, or at least they're not as well established.
Okay.
Um, Listen, if there was a Powerwolf Dogma tour, I would go. Have you heard of Dogma?
No.
Um, so I actually heard of them for the first time a while ago on TikTok, but I didn't know like anything about them. I'm so sorry, my nose itches super bad.
You're good. Mine does
Um,
too. It's because of the nose ring.
but I was like, okay, that's kind of a stupid concept for a band. I thought it was kind of a stupid concept. But then I heard their cover of Like a Prayer on Spotify the other day, and I was like, this is good. And now that I've listened to their actual music, I'm like, no, I get the gimmick now. So their gimmick is that it's an all-female band and they dress like sexy nuns in corpse paint.
Okay.
Like, corpse paint like the metal face paint.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a stupid cuz what I was seeing on TikTok was like little clips of like their guitarist mostly, and I was like, this is a stupid gimmick. Like, you know, but much like Powerwolf. Like if you just saw Powerwolf, you'd be like, that's a stupid gimmick.
Yeah.
But it makes sense with their music. Dogma stuff makes sense with their music. Father I Have Sinned is a banger.
I don't know why that made me think of the Pretty Reckless. What is that song? Going Down.
Going to Hell. They have one. They've got Follow Me Down.
I'm thinking of the one
Take Me
that's
Down.
Going Down.
I don't think they have a. I like the Pretty Reckless. At least I used to listen to him a lot. Taylor Momsen, their lead singer, put out a. She played Cindy Lou Who, right?
Yeah, I know that.
They put out a Christmas album.
Did they?
She covers Where Are You Christmas, and it's really good. It's very cute.
Didn't she initially sing it?
Yeah, but it's a cover because it's her band. She's not supposed to be Cindy Lou Who. Yeah, there's a song going down.
I know there is. I used to sing it all the time. Hey there, Father.
Oh, it's off
I
Light Me
don't
Up.
want to bother you. I've got a sin to confess. Just 16, if you know what I mean.
I don't know if we have to cut that out or not, Sage. Wait. To be fair, I don't know that Taylor Momsen's gonna strike us for copyright.
I
I
don't
don't know that
know.
we have to worry about that. She's not Taylor Swift. Who, if you even hum a Taylor Swift song in another room while someone's recording a live stream, she'll hit your ass for copyright. As if she doesn't have enough money.
To
God,
be
how
fair,
dare
though, she fought Scooter for so long to have rights to her own music.
how dare anybody possibly potentially make some kind of profit off her music without giving her royalties. Don't you know that Taylor Swift is literally starving because she has no money? How will how will she afford to fly her private jet from the living room to the bathroom if you don't pay her royalties for farting to the tune of Shake It Off? I don't know if you
I
guys know this, but
love.
I don't know if you know this, but I hate Taylor Swift. Just like as a person.
Oh god, I loved that rant.
I just because the thing is, I still am, but I was on Tumblr when she was on Tumblr. I didn't like her then.
I like her music. I'm not a Swiftie, but
I'm gonna be real with you. Wildest Dreams is a good song. She does have some good songs,
uh
but
Do
I
It With a
think she's
Broken
probably not a
Heart.
nice person.
Do It With a Broken Heart, that song. I will scream at the top of my lungs.
That's my thing. I don't necessarily. I don't think her new music is any good at all, and I think she overestimates her songwriting ability. But she has some fun songs, and she has some songs I like. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
pretend. It's not that all of her music is without merit. I just think she's really arrogant, and I think she's probably a shitty
I
person.
so there's a podcast I listen to called Ladies and Tangents. And
Hmm.
Jerry, which is one of the girls, she has a sweatshirt that says, I cry a lot, but I am so productive. It's an art, which is from the song I Could Do It With a Broken Heart, and I want that sweatshirt so bad.
I won't judge you if you wear a sweatshirt with a Taylor Swift lyric.
Well, that line, I cry a lot, but I am so productive.
Right.
I need it.
I I will. The only thing that I will say in Taylor Swift's defense, um,
As if you didn't just
is
spend 2 minutes bashing her.
is I think that the standard for nice becomes different when you're that level of famous.
Yeah.
Because like John Mulaney, I think talked about it in a comedy special where when he worked on like SNL, but like John Bon Jovi would just like snap his fingers and be like Diet Coke, or maybe it was like Mick Jagger. I don't know. It was like one of the old school celebrities. Maybe it was Mick Jagger. I don't know. And they'd just be
Somebody.
like Diet Coke, and so a Diet Coke would basically appear in their hand because someone would hand it to them. Like I imagine it is kind of hard to like. I think I'd still be nice because there's plenty of celebrities. Like look at Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
But I can understand how the standard for like being a good person changes significantly when you're that level of famous. Like
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is famous in ways that other people have not been famous before.
Yeah. And you
So,
also have to be
you know,
careful about literally everything you do
mm,
as well, just because anyone can literally flip the most basic interaction.
and I'm sure the pressure from being under constant scrutiny and the pressure to succeed and continue to make art. I think a lot of artists actually fall into the trap of cuz like most artists' music gets worse over time.
Yeah.
And even bands that have like really long careers that are good eventually put out a flop album. Music, no, I love Muse, but their last album was ass. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't particularly good. There were a couple songs I really liked, but for the most part, it was just ass. And I hate their new single they put out. It's boring. It's the same shit rehashed.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, obviously that's happening to Taylor Swift. You know, you have
Yeah.
all these people around her going, "You're such a prolific songwriter. You're one of the greats. You're so good. You're so successful. You have a diehard fan base that will listen to anything you put out."
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I imagine that does get to your head.
Yeah.
Absolute. There's the saying, and it's about politics, but absolute power corrupts absolutely.
I love that
It's
we're
the.
on this topic because it's going to be a great segue into the first three questions I ask you.
Hey, ask me the questions now.
Have you ever wondered if people hate you?
I don't have to wonder. I know.
Do you ever wonder how many people will be excited when you die?
I don't have to wonder. I know.
Do you think that there are going to be people when you die and spooky things happen, they are going to instantly say that you are haunting them?
Yes. In fact, I would hope that they would. I want them to think it's me.
Well, I've also thought about all of these questions, and mine's more of an anxiety based version.
I was gonna say, I think these questions are just like the basis of general anxiety.
I think so.
Like, I think these are the DSM questions.
They might be. They might be. As if someone who hasn't answered every single, like, uh,
They're
going
on
to
the anxiety questions.
going to every doctor's appointment having to fill out an anxiety questionnaire, a depression questionnaire, and like another one.
I could literally be in the same situation as Job, and I would be fucked before I ever told a doctor I was depressed. Not admitting. Not if you're gonna put me on the fifth floor. I'm going away. Also, the unfortunate thing is if you constantly put like I have anxiety, I have depression, sometimes doctors will accuse you of drug seeking behavior.
Yeah, well, this was
Which is
right
unfortunate
after
because
I had a very traumatic thing happen to me.
right, I'm
So,
just saying I think that that's unfair that they do that because those aren't exactly conditions that go away.
yeah. I had to fill
So,
one out just like so they could see where I was at because your girl was going through some things. That's when I got diagnosed with PTSD.
it happens to the best of us.
It really does.
I look like someone's father at the dinner table, like at the breakfast table. It's a newspaper. Happens to the best of us, son.
Love it.
But continue. Tell me how these questions relate to the episode.
But I don't think it's going to be anything like what is happening in this story. So tonight we're going to take a journey back to the heart of old Bavaria, a small town nestled within the Holy Roman Empire. So today we're talking about the legend of the Ansbach werewolf, a creature so ferocious, so cunning, and so steeped in local legend that even centuries later, its corpse still hangs in memory, and maybe even spirit over the town it's once terrorized. So we are heading back to the time in 1685 in Ansbach, a town in fear. In 1685, Ansbach was a small but significant town in the region of Franconia, part of what we now call Bavaria, Germany. The town lay nestled under the rule of the Holy Roman Empire, but while the empire's power was vast, local governance was what really mattered. For Ansbach, this meant living under the reign of one man. Now, I struggled to even understand how this name was said, and I watched several videos on people pronouncing it, so we are going to see how messed up I do this because it is technically German.
Okay,
So,
I'm ready.
Burgermeister Michael like Zoostrafer.
Let me Google it and I'll read it off. All right, who is what was he?
He was the Burgermeister of Ansbach in 1685.
Can't fucking die. Michael Leicht?
Do you have the last name?
Yeah, Leicht.
And then there's Zerstreifer.
Zurstreifer? Hmm,
But
that's
essentially, we
correct.
will be calling him Mayor Michael just to make it easier on me.
I actually don't see anything with it's they all just are calling him Michael Leicht.
Okay, well, we're calling him just Michael.
Just my okay, just Michael.
So now Michael wasn't someone who would you would call beloved. In fact, he was entirely loathed, deeply unpopular. He was cruel and harsh in his rule. The kind of guy whose name probably made stomachs churn every time it echoed off stone walls in the market square. So when Michael died, folks didn't exactly grieve him. In all honesty, they didn't even care, not even in the slightest.
Is
No,
this who Burgermeister Meisterburger is based off of?
I don't know. You'll find out. But no bell rang in mourning, no tears were shed. If anything, his passing was more of a public relief than a loss. Now, if you're like me and are wondering, why was he so hated? What did this man do in order for a whole town to hate him this bad? Well, I have the stories. As the town's mayor, he ruled with an iron grip and a heart colder than the stones of the Ansbach city walls. He was known for crushing dissent, issuing heavy taxes, and enforcing brutal punishments for even the most minor crimes. Rumors swirled that he had people imprisoned without cause and that he lined his pockets while the townfolk starved during harsh winters. The poor grew poorer and the sick went untreated. And Michael, he built up his own wealth, his own power, always watching, always judging, and never showing mercy. But it wasn't just what he did, it was how he did it. There are stories of him laughing at public executions, of ordering whippings in the square just to set an example. He was said to spy on town folks and send enforcers in the night for those who spoke against him. So I guess it's his nickname. His nickname Zoo Streifer literally means for punishment.
Right.
And whether that was his given name or one earned through reputation, it fits him like a noose. So when Michael finally died, whether from illness or divine justice, no one cared. The townspeople whispered that even hell wouldn't take him. Do you know how bad of a person you have to be?
Yeah, yeah, you did some fucked up shit. Don't you elect your mayor?
Yeah. I don't know about 1685. I don't know.
I feel like
I barely understand the
was
government here.
did he just like get elected for life and they're like can't do nothing.
Maybe.
We gotta have him. Okay. How'd this guy get the job?
Oh, I forgot about this part. And it was also said that the devil himself slammed the gates shut and spat him back out.
It- They fucking hated this guy.
Do you know how bad you have to be?
You have to be so bad. You have to be. My God.
There was one story that I read that I don't think I included in here, but one of the lower people in the city was having a meeting with him and they spilt water on his floor and he ordered them to have 70 whippings.
I need to find out if this guy was elected.
While you do that, I'll
Yes,
continue reading.
continue.
So when he died, most of the town celebrated. But death, as we're about to learn, is not always the end of the story. Just days after Michael's funeral, something strange stirred in the fields and forests surrounding Ansbach. Sheep and cows were found slaughtered, not just killed, but completely torn apart. At first, the folks chalked it up to wild animals. I mean, we are talking about rural Europe. Wolves were all over the place. But with livestock occasionally vanishing, it was tragic, but, not unusual. But then, children started to go missing. And when their bodies were found, they were mangled, shredded, and devoured. The horror of these scenes shifted from background fear to center stage panic. Witnesses began to speak, and their stories aligned. A large black wolf, more ferocious than anything they'd ever seen. It wasn't just its size, though that was terrifying within of itself. This wolf was smart, like unnaturally smart. It was dodging traps, outmaneuvering hunters, and was choosing its victims with eerie precision, which is
Hmm.
crazy. So the town obviously begins to whisper. They begin running through all of their minds of how this wolf could be this smart. Then they began to question, was this just a wolf or was this something more? And at this time, belief in werewolves was still common throughout Europe. They weren't just a fantasy like they are nowadays, but they were feared, often seen as manifestations of sin or evil or even punishments from God. So it didn't take long for the town to settle on an explanation. The beast was no beast at all. It had to be Michael. To them, there was no other explanation of it. His malevolent spirit returned to the form of a wolf to torment the people even after death.
Sounds like him.
Yeah. So think about that. A hated leader returning not as a ghost in a castle, but as a bloody, snarling predator in the woods.
What if I don't want to think about that?
I didn't want to think about that. Um, which
Can
is
you, that's like that would be like if like our current president, like we're gonna say, let's say, passed away peacefully in a sleep of old age one day, and then there was just a werewolf in Washington D.C. and everyone was like, "It's him!
I would cry. I live too close. No, thank you.
There's an orange wolf! It has to be him! It's gotta come over!"
I don't know if I'd be scared or just be like, "There's no way this is real. This has to be a
It's
fever
saying
dream."
nice things about Mom Donnie.
Oh
No.
my god, do I need to cut that out?
No, I mean you can if you want. I don't think I've said anything untoward.
No, I don't think you did. I was just
A lot of people don't like him. That's just a
that
fact.
is just a fact. Um Oh, it didn't. I looked at him like reading this like I'm just hearing it for the first time as if I did not do this research.
Right. You're like, oh,
It didn't help that people claimed that they saw Michael's ghost at his own funeral hovering and watching.
he had to make sure that they weren't doing nothing.
Yeah,
I too
literally.
would be like, are they fucking with my dead body? I feel like they're gonna.
Hell, it's gonna get crazier here in a minute. I remember. Some swore they saw a wolf like figure wrapped in a linen shroud prowling outside his old home. Now, this statement honestly gives me a little bit of like Little Red Riding Hood's like, Michael, why is your mouth so big? To eat you better, my dear.
They just see he joins the Ku Klux Klan. He was just getting ahead of the game. What's that clip of Markiplier where he's like, the Ku Klux Klan?
Yeah, and then like something spooky happens right after.
That was what they were going through. There's just a wolf in a sheet,
It might have
essentially.
been.
Well,
But
because a shroud is basically just a sheet.
yeah, but this idea spread fast. He had transformed his spirit into a wolf to escape hell and continue his tyranny. So the town came to a conclusion. Do you want to take a guess on what that was?
They need to burn his body.
Mm, no,
Oh,
it was time to fight back. They decided they
okay.
weren't going to let Michael continue to cause them fear, so the townspeople, terrified and desperate, organized a grand hunt. Not just some guys with pitchforks, this was a coordinated effort. It was hunters, dogs, traps, and weapons. They formed an entire militia of vengeance. The centerpiece of their strategy? The wolf scrub, or the wolf pit. This isn't just a hole in the ground, it was tactical warfare. They dug out a deep pit, covered it with branches and straw, and at the bottom was a live rooster. The rooster, due to being trapped, was flapping and squawking, and this was the perfect thing to catch a predator's attention. The hunting party, armed with weapons and accompanied by their dogs, scoured the woods and surrounding areas. This intense search lasted for several days. Eventually, the cunning wolf took the bait. Another story says that the hunters and dogs drove the wolf into the uncovered well, and this is when he got trapped. But we're going with the more in length story. It prowled the area, crept closer, and fell straight into the trap. The hunters rushed in, and there, at the bottom of the pit, the beast met its end. They killed it. But this is where the story takes a turn from a wolf hunt to a symbolic execution. The peoples of Ansbach didn't stop at killing the wolf. They skinned it, cut off its muzzle, dressed it in human clothing. The clothes were a flesh colored suit, a wig, and a
Hey, I
beard.
just froze. Camera's frozen. It took me a minute to realize I was frozen, actually, because I was just sitting there with that face. When you said, that's the face I made when you said they skinned it and put clothes on it. Hello, camera.
I cried.
Okay.
That was not the face I was gonna expect when I looked up. Oh my gosh. It the ghost his ghost is here.
He's with us.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't remember where we were, so we're gonna go back to the
Uh,
clothes were flesh colored.
they were what?
They were a flesh colored suit. A wig and a beard and a cardboard mask crafted to resemble Michael's face. They paraded it through the streets. This was more than a celebration, it was a spectacle, a statement. They would say, "Look at what we've done. The tyrant returns and we defeated him." The wolf's body was then hanged from a gibbet, the same used for criminals, and it swung there for days. A real corpse hanging in the square, humanized and humiliated. A grotesque victory. Eventually, the body was removed and preserved and put on display in the local museum, where it remained for years, half wolf, half man, all legends. And there was a poem written that I have. And it occurs to me that old timey poems were not written like modern day ones, so forgive me for how terrible this is going to sound coming from me. Also, this was probably written in German first. I have the English version. I, wolf, was a grim beast and devourer of many children, which I far preferred to fat sheep and steers. A rooster killed me, a well was my death. I now hang from the gallows for the ridicule of all people. As a spirit and a wolf, I bothered men. How appropriate. Now that people say, "Ah, you damned spirit who entered the wolf, you now swing from the gallows disguised as a man. This is your fair compensation, the gift you have earned. This you deserve, a gibbet is your grave. Take this reward because you have devoured the sons of men, like a fierce and ferocious beast, a real child eater." And now, I also have a second one that was written about this. This one is shorter. On one hand, depriving the wolf of its fur and replacing it with human clothing meant showing Satan himself that his tricks did not work. The townspeople of Anbach were able to recognize the man concealed under the fur. This was therefore a warning addressed to the devil himself. This is how your evil servants end up around here. So let's take a step back for a second because while this sounds like a pure myth, this is historical truth. The attacks were real. The beast was captured and it was dressed up and hung from a gibbet. A fear drove the town into believing the supernatural was not just impossible, but true. Even deeper, this whole event may have served as a proxy execution. The townspeople couldn't overthrow Michael in real life, so they symbolically destroyed him in death. Some believe the dressed up of a wolf was what? Why did I add this word? Was aprotropica. I don't know what that word is. I don't know why I meant it. I
Pop
didn't have
Tropica? The website?
apotropic, maybe meant to ward off the devil. Um, a way to show that his servants had been recognized and defeated. Others saw it as pure political rage, and yet over the next 2 decades, stories of the Ansbach wolf only grew. Some say it returned between 1685 and 1704. More attacks happened, hundreds died, and these hundreds were mostly women and children. Whispers claimed the creature was back and still hunting. The Margrave of the region, George Frederick II, led another hunt in 1704. This time the beast was killed, then it was taxidermied in a dramatic form and was placed in the palace collection. It's a body, a real one, and it still exists today, a relic of fear, of folklore, and of vengeance. So, what was the Ansbach werewolf? A real predator, a symbol of political differences, a werewolf, a rabid beast? Some modern scholars suggest the creature was rabid, hence the unusual aggressions. Others speculate it might have been a hybrid, part wolf, part dog, possibly escaped from a noble's private menagerie. This could explain the intelligence, the size, and the abnormal behavior. But to the people of Ansbach, none of that mattered. To them, it was Michael, their tyrant, their monster, and their wolf. And in killing it, they found a form of justice that had been denied in life. So, was it justice or was it madness? Or was it truly something darker that could still be lurking in the forest of Bavaria? So, that's it. The story of the Ansbach werewolf, a tale twisted by time, soaked in blood, and carried on the breath of a frightened too long ruled by cruelty and superstition. Think about it. A tyrant died, a man so hated that even death wasn't enough. His legacy was so rotten, so poisonous, that when a beast came from the woods and began devouring livestock and children, folks didn't see a wild animal. They saw him, back again, wearing fur and fangs. That's how deep the scars went. And the way they dealt with it, it wasn't just a hunt, it was a ritual execution. They didn't just kill a wolf, they stripped it, mocked it, and dressed it like Michael and hung it from the gallows like a man. Again, they chopped off its muzzle and shoved a carved human face over it. They gave it a wig, a beard, a clock, and a name. They gave their fear a face. And then they made sure the fear died a public death. But here's what lingers with me. Was the werewolf even real? Was there truly a monstrous beast with eyes that glowed like lanterns, clever enough to evade hunters, and cruel enough to feast on children? Or was it just a desperate explanation, a way to make sense of grief, hunger, and years of being ruled by a man who acted more like a predator than a leader? Because if you ask me, the real monsters might not have been wearing fur. He might have worn robes, sat in chambers, and ruled with an iron fist. The wolf, maybe just an animal doing what animals do, just simply trying to survive. But when fear takes hold, it doesn't care what's true. It wants a target. It wants revenge. And the towns of Ansbach got theirs. For decades, the taxidermied body of the wolf hung in a museum like a war trophy. People would come from miles around to gawk at it. Children grew up hearing the story, and every time they passed that glass case, they didn't just see a beast. They saw what happens to monsters. Even if the real monster had already been buried, so maybe that's the real horror here. Not the creature, not the teeth, but what scared, desperate people will do when they think they're fighting evil, how far they'll go, and how much blood they'll spill, and how easily that blood can become a legend.
That's a very good outro, Sage.
Thank you. I was
Very,
trying to
very,
read it in one breath, and I realized that I couldn't.
very, very potent message. And that's true, though. That's true because in all these cases that we've studied, not the Dogman cases so much,
But the
but
werewolf
all
ones.
the werewolf ones that you've come with, it's just how much blood people will spill and how far they're willing to go
Yeah,
when confronted with something that makes them afraid.
literally.
Like the mob that literally ripped that woman apart,
Yeah.
like with their bare hands.
She women being executed because their husbands as well were
Hmm.
accused of being werewolves. Like,
Like it's the Wolf of Ansbach is not like a lone case. It is because of like why, but it's very like Beast of Gévaudan
yeah.
in a way. And
Because I don't think Michael came back as a wolf. I think a wolf was hungry and had to do what it had to do to survive. And because they couldn't defeat Michael in real life, they use it as a symbolic thing.
if they could have gotten away with doing that to his actual body, they would have.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it boils down to. Now, will I say that in a time where there's a lot of folklore and a lot of superstition and not a whole lot of science, you know, I can kind of see the thought process behind always maybe not him being a werewolf, but like a revenant of some kind. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
absolutely see that. And actually, that's not an uncommon thing in like really old school vampire cases. Like somebody that they don't like dies, and then sickness spreads to the village. Oh, they've come back as a revenant or a vampire, depending
Yeah.
on the region, and they're spreading illness now because they were just such a terrible person.
I want to know how many people died during the bubonic plague because of stuff like that.
In terms of actual large scale religion.
Scientology is a large scale religion.
Yeah, but they're 100% a cult.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody who is not in. I think that most people can look at the Abrahamic faiths and Hinduism and Buddhism, Shintoism, um, Confucianism, and then go, that's not a cult. That's a big religion, but it's not a cult. I don't think that anybody
Like,
outside of people who are Scientologists, can look at Scientology and go, that's not a cult.
it's 100%. Like you're supposed to what? Like you owe your soul to them, and like if you reincarnate, you're like still have to be a part of their thing for like what was it, like 500 years?
How do they know if you're reincarnated? Like, how do they know?
I don't know. Ask them.
No, because then they'll like lock me in a box or something and not let me leave until I swear allegiance to the alien who founded Earth or some shit. I don't know anything about Scientology and I don't want to.
I don't. I also don't know
I
anything
know
about
there's aliens
Scientology.
involved. I know there's aliens involved. There has to be.
There's one girl who. So do you remember the There used to be a TLC show called like Escaping Amish or something like that.
Yes.
There's gonna be one called Escaping Scientology.
Is there?
There's like there's people on TikTok that like that's a series that they do is about is escaping Scientology.
Well, Leah Remini escaped Scientology, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Um, I know. I think it's fascinating to listen to people who are in cults talk about it. It's also really fascinating to hear Amish people who are no longer Amish
Hmm.
talk about it because people have a very defined image of what they think Amish people are. Um, And it's not the case. That's not the case.
Yeah.
The Amish are not sweethearts.
No.
They make really good bread and they build barns really quick, but that's the and little Amish kids are super cute,
They
but because
are.
they look like little pioneer children. But that you know those kids are going the fuck through it.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and I know it's because we have religious freedom in this country. I don't know how the Amish get away with so much.
They pay their taxes and don't.
I don't know how CPS isn't involved more. I guess because no one's reporting it.
Who they don't have phones.
I mean, you could go up to someone in a supermarket, I guess, but I guess if that's all you know.
I'll never forget at a gun show when an Amish boy grabbed my ass and I was turned around to swing because I was like, "Who the fuck are you touching my ass?" And it was an Amish guy, and I was like, "I can't punch you."
Kind of more fundy religions have some issues,
Yeah.
but not to the degree the Amish do.
I used to hate when I'd be like, so I've lived near train tracks. I can sleep through a train going by, but the sound of the wheels on the buggies, I drives me up a wall and I don't know why. There was a wreck between two buggies with two Amish teens who were underage drinking, and they both got arrested by state police down by where you're at.
Yeah.
And they were going out, like, which also, like, how are you getting out of the area on a horse and buggy without it waking literally everyone?
You
That's
have the least discreet method of travel of all time.
literally. So,
Only way you could be less discreet is if you like revved up a fucking dirt bike.
yeah. So, like, I don't know how anyone was, like, not realizing, but they were, like, sneaking out of, like, into town to drink at, like,
A bar?
like, a civilian's house. Like, I don't know what I don't know what to,
A civilian?
like
Is that
like
what we're
like
calling the non-Amish?
I don't know. But, like, it would be, like, coming up to one of our houses, and so they were, like, 16, and an adult was having them drink at their house and then sending them, and it's also, like, how do you run it, like, how do you crash 2 buggies?
You literally have the slow. That's like how. Okay, so I don't remember which state it was in. I want to say like Ohio or some shit. There were two cars in the early days of having like cars, and they both managed to fucking crash into each other. Oh,
They were the only
I
2
want to
cars in
know.
the entire state.
I want to know the thought process behind crashing that and crashing a buggy because they have to be the same. Are you just like, I'm not gonna move. I'm expecting the other person to move, and you just never
And
move because you
also, are
have
you
ample time.
and also the horses, like, the horses should try to avoid each other, so how
You would think. So are you steering? Were you guys trying to play chicken?
I don't know, but they crashed both buggies and they got
And it's
arrested.
sad. It's sad too because I always end up putting the horse down.
Yeah.
I
But
hate horses, but I don't think we should do that.
yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how they wrecked into each other. For starters, I
Okay.
don't being around. There is a cult town near you.
Is it the one I'm thinking? Does it start with a P?
Yep.
Yeah. I
I
have a
rem-
buddy that I had a buddy that used to hang out there.
I knew a guy from there that was the cult leader's son.
They're actually not that. I know they say this about. I'm sure people say this about the Manson family, but they're not that bad.
No. He's in prison, but
But no, they're not that bad. There's worse
no.
cults.
Yeah.
They're not doing crazy shit like some
No, I don't
cults do.
even really think they're a cult anymore. They definitely
I
were
think
when
they're
it was
just
started.
I think they're just weird. Like they're
Yeah.
not even an official cult. They're just kind of strange and they live a little different. But if you know somebody in it, you can go down there.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
And it's so crazy because if you look it up, I don't think it comes up on maps.
No, I don't think so.
I think you like
It
I
it
didn't
didn't
even
used
know
to.
where it was until one day I was
You
driving a
have to know
back
where it is.
where I was driving the back roads and I came across a sign that was like a back entrance to it and I was like, "How did I end up here?"
Like, oh! But So today we've learned that not all cults are evil. Some of them are actually kind of chill, uh, and kind of just morph into a group of weirdos who aren't that bad. They're just kind of strange. Uh,
Think with with Michael, I think we know that it was not
we know
Michael.
it wasn't Michael.
So
It was. I almost said it was the Amish.
I thought you were gonna say it was the devil, and I was like, well, that would be Michael.
Nah, that's the scariest thing, though, isn't it? Some people are so bad that you
Yeah,
have to make them into like folklore to make sense of them.
yeah.
Same
It
thing. This is very similar to the Morbach legend.
very similar.
Somebody was so bad that
I
after they, yeah,
I thought it was funny that it was like Morbach and then a little,
Ansbach.
yeah, and then Ansbach, and now
New theory. It was because we know the Morbach monster isn't real. New theory: the Ansbach monster moved to Morbach because he got confused. The names sound very similar, and it's a wolf,
yeah,
so he can't really read that well. He's smart enough to kind of read, but not to fully read.
he knows
Um,
Bach, and that's about the extent of his
he knows
English.
Bach. Yeah, he knows Bach, and he ended up in Morbach and attacked an army base.
Bets right
That's
now.
my new
Does he
theory.
stop at a red light?
Hmm?
I said bets right now. Does the Ansbach and Morbach monster stop at red
At red
lights?
lights. No.
It could be. Um, but yeah, let us know any thoughts on Michael. What do you think happened? If you have any personal stories that you want to tell us, email it to us. The email will be down below in the description.
Comments, questions, concerns, please let us know. Make sure you like, comment. I'm gonna be a YouTuber here. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and click that notification bell. Also, if you're Amish, let us know. Don't know how you do that, but
If you escaped being Amish,
we will eventually cover cults on this podcast. So if you
I
escape the Amish, let me know.
I would love to hear your version.
I'm just gonna bring an Amish person on the podcast.
I'll track down the one that touched my butt. I know actually where he lives.
I mean, there's only so many places the Amish he can possibly live. There's like 5 houses.
Um, and the reason I know where he lives is because he lives next door to my ex's dad.
Mm, that's provided he still lives there and he hasn't. I gotta shut up. I'm gonna be too mean and I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'll grab him. He's probably married by this point, but if I just kidnap him,
To his cousin. Him and his
probably,
cousin, Beth
probably.
Amaya.
Yeah, I never thought about like because you only marry within your community. I don't think you really go out to other communities and get married unless there's like
No.
something that somebody needs from your community that the other community needs, like
Yeah.
kind of like how
It's.
kingdoms used to do it.
But
Do you
guys, thank you for.
realize? Oh, go ahead. We'll go ahead and end this, and then we'll talk about this a second.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.